They said it couldn't happen, but it has. I've actually organised burning questions without Nikita Ross being here. Even though, look, Michael Stanley, it wasn't easy for you to get on today, but you've made it. The kids were playing robot games on the internet and caused a few problems, but you've got the right beanie on. Go Pies.
Yeah, happy days for the Magpies. So normally it's not even about the finals, Bonners. Just that last minute knocking Carlton out of the finals. How good was that?
Well, I tell you what, when you looked up on the screen, 4 goals of margin, and the Carlton fans, they were preparing, they were on their phone, they were booking all their tickets. You're not going anywhere, kids.
No, and that's why, the amount of Carlton supporters that were on the blower at 3/4 time getting stuck into me, you copped the right whack.
Who do you barrack for, Glen Craven? Welcome to you.
How are we going? Yeah, no, I'm a bit silent on that one. Our club's in turmoil.
That's Essendon and $1.02. Well, we've seen some short price favourites beaten at Tabcorp Park in recent weeks, but that's Essendon and $1.02. And Andy, I'm not going to let you be a smart ass here because I think Sydney's the team to beat. Mick might already have an investment on them to win the flag, so we're not going to get into a blue with you at this point because I think Sydney's going to be very hard to beat, and you'd be very happy as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, yeah, still a long way to go, but we've got a live chance.
Right, we're all loving each other at the moment, but let's get Michael Stanley and Andy Gath to punch on here. Is the fast class pace a race between Yambuk and Doo, or can Reactor Now make life a pain for Major 2? Now, I'll start with you, Mick. We spoke to you on radio during the week, but how close to being 100% wound up is Rock and Roll Doo, and do you think you'll be leading?
Unlike Bucky, and I don't need to lead to win, so it doesn't really worry me. So yeah, Reactor Now can do what they like. But no, we're just start off with a bit of friendly fire there. No, we're pretty wound up. He only had a short freshen up. It hasn't been a long time since he raced, so he's pretty forward.
Are you going in expecting to win? Because I know what a big opinion you've got of this horse.
Oh, I think when you get in these fast class races, you can't go in expecting to win. We always go there. Brendan James, his owner is really good and really realistic. We're expecting to go there and race really well, and if that means that we go home with a win, we'll be very happy. But if he runs a really good race and runs, second or third, but runs a good race, we'll still go home happy.
Andy, what do you think is going to happen in the run? Can Reactor Now kick up and maybe try and hold both of you? Would he want to? And where are you at with the Bucky? And he's got a little bit more race fitness on his side, but a bad draw.
Yeah, obviously, great respect for Mick's horse, Rock and Roll Doo. He's a quality horse and showed in the past what he's capable of doing. And as he said, Yambuckian's are probably front of the field horse. He's won most of his races either in front or in the death. So he got reasonable gate speed. He gets loose the gate okay. Reactor Now can probably hold either of them if it chooses to, but I doubt it's going well enough. I reckon if Michael's first there, we'll probably hand up to Mick's horse. If we're first there, might hand up to us. So again, with Michael, once you get to this class, it's always difficult to think you. But they both run really good races, and yeah, I'm sure they're both going to have really good careers going forward.
So you can win outside the leader. You don't 100% need to lead to win.
I doubt if we can sit outside Mick's horse and beat it, especially if it's produces its best. I don't think many horses can sit outside Mick's horse and beat it when it's at its best. So we have got a level of fitness probably in our favour, so time will tell. It's all relevant to how quick they burn early.
I might back Ollivici here because neither of these blokes sound that confident to me, Glen. They're worrying me, both of them. They're both sort of half. I wanted a punch on. There was a good first right hook from Mick Stanley, but it all backed off after that. Who do you think is going to win the race, Glen?
Well, I think if Mick's horse does everything right in the first 100 metres and can hold up early, I think, Reactor Now will be happy to sit on its back. And Bucky he loves doing it the hard way, and he'll soldier on. But, I think it'd be just Mick's horse might be too good if he can get in the fence first.
I don't know if he loves doing it the hard way, Bucky. It just turns out that way. Right. Second question of the burning questions. Does Beach Villa Cross in feature 3-year-old event? And if yes, then charge or gift the lead to mate Khafaj. That's Khafaj. How do we see the map going here, Glen? And who's going to win that Vic Size Classic?
It's an interesting one. I think, it'll get across first. Beach Villa. Khafaji's a tough horse who races better on the fence. So it'll be interesting to see what happens early, whether they do hand up. But I think they will let it go. Because otherwise, if they cut each other up, I think Douglas's horse Interest Free will be the one that'll run over the top of them. So I think they'll play the safe game.
What are your thoughts here, Andy? I was worried a little bit with Catch a Wave. Khafaj looked like it had a lot of potential early, and then Catch a Wave, I was worried he broke the big boy's heart a couple of times. But he doesn't have to race Catch a Wave here. I think he's the one to beat. I think he'll find the front and he'll win. He's, spoiler alert, he's going to be my best on the card. Andy.
Oh, sorry. Everything just froze for a minute. What was the question?
I don't know, but you look like your car may be on fire. There's a lot of. It feels like there's a haze. You don't have to keep doing burning. Burning questions doesn't mean you literally need to burn while you're doing it. There's something going on in that car. So we've got some problems. Khafaj, do you think it finds the front in the Big Size Classic, and do you think it wins, or do you think something else wins?
Yeah, I think Interest Free is going better than all of them. You know, it's drawn wide. Khafaj can do things wrong at the start at times. So Kilmore, he sort of galloped for no reason. So he's not a foolproof horse at this stage. I think if Beach Villa does lead, I'm guessing Kate will be instructed to hand up to Khafaj if he's first there. So if he does find the top, he's going to be pretty hard to beat. But I'd still be sticking with Interest Free the way he's going.
Cheapest creepers. Michael Stanley, thoughts, please.
Well, I mean, I agree, Beach Villa. Well, there's actually quite a bit of speed. Like Jaws of Lincoln can leave the gate pretty far. So if he thinks that Beach Villa is going to take a trail, will he let Beach Villa go anyway? And then Relentless Me, if they run the gate, Relentless Me will cross Khafaj in the first 100. So if I was them, I'd be doing that and leaving Khafaj out there. So I'm not too sure it's that easy as Beach Villa is going to lead and hand up to Khafaj. I think there's plenty there that could throw a spanner in the works and make it a really interesting race. And if all that happens, I'm with Andy. I think Interest Free is going the best out of a lot of them. But, yeah, I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park as far as Khafaj is taking the front off Beach Villa.
I would like to take my money back, my investment right now in Khafaj. I thought it's not good for me, unfortunately. By the way, Michael, who is your favourite Pies player at the moment?
Personally, Braden Maynard, he's just tough as nails. So I love him. I just love the way he goes about it. But the girls, I've swung the two daughters on the Pies bandwagon too, and they're Darcy Moore fans. So, normally the girls would be Jamie Elliott or Jack Ginnivan, but they love Darcy Moore. So we're getting around the back line.
If you see when they get a bit older any tall, lanky men with long blonde hair hanging around the house,
yep,
it's a worry. Get the gun.
It's a worry.
Get the gun. Right, we're here. Paul could work. We're in safety. This one is for Glen Craven, and his name's even in the question. Does Glen send Nitro off the gate at start, or is he now a better horse when he's not taking part? Now, you said off air to me briefly, Glen, it might not be your decision. You might just be a passenger.
Yes, he does like to run the gate pretty strong. So I think it would have been nicer to draw the back line so we didn't have to had our mind made up for us and drive him the way we have been. But I think it'll all matter. All depend on the first 50 metres and how he's looking. But looking at the field, we might nearly have to charge forward, especially over the short trip.
And based on his first up run, he was luckless. If he was able to get across, would you be expecting him to win? Can somebody say they're expecting something to win? Were you expecting him to win under those circumstances, please, Glenn?
Well, I'd like to say yes, but he hasn't been that genuine the last couple of years since he was a 2-year-old. So, I think if he did find the front, he'd be very hard to beat. And that first up run, he probably only needed a metre here or there, and he would have got out and won. But it was a very good confidence-boosting run for him since he's had to freshen up.
Poor old your little man, Lockie Cookie, got absolutely railed by the stewards, and I think he did a hell of a lot wrong. And the steward, what are you doing? Why did you pull 6 wide and just go straight by them?
Yeah, no, it would have been an A+ Gavin Lang drive if he was able to get that small split.
You're not quite Gav yet, Lockie. Sorry, mate. Andy, Your thoughts here, Ollivici Nitro? We now know he's probably going to charge across unless Major Mice is the only one that can make things interesting at the start, I think.
Yeah, he's got pretty good gate speed, Major Meisler, and he can pull pretty hard. So I think if Ollivici Nitro does go forward and doesn't cross, he's probably going to be stuck in the death running pretty solid times. I think he's better if he comes off the speed these days. He probably, as Glen said, he's probably not 100% genuine. But again, sometimes some horses just want to run the gate, and he can run the gate pretty quick. But if he does go forward and doesn't find the pegs, he's in awful pain.
Awful pain. That's very visceral from you, Andy. And before there's no question about pull the other leg. What's going to happen in that first race quickly?
Yeah, the 1, 2, and 3 all get out pretty quick. So obviously for him to be a winning chance or a good hope, if he can cross the 1 and either be in front or behind Gilligan's Island, be pretty hard to beat again, I'd say.
Poor old Gilligan's Island got the Lazarus rap and got rolled. Anyway, we move forward. Mick, what do you think here? Ollivici Nitro. There's a couple of other warriors at this level that have been racing well, like Rick Riley, who gets a good draw. Is there going to be a little mini blowout in the first leg of the quaddie? How do you read it?
Well, I think we look for a roughie, Bonus. I think Andy's just declared Kate's holding the front and Glen's just declared he's going forward. So let's find something to beat both of them. That's the way I'm looking at it. Look, I think with Ollivici Nitro, the hard part is with him because that's what the burning question is about Ollivici Nitro, isn't it? So the hard part with him is if he does go back over the 1700 in this field, there's going to be no speed. So can he get into the race to win anyway? So, I mean, obviously that is up to Glen, but yeah, personally over the short trip, he probably looks like he has to have a crack in this race early anyway.
There's a good advantage to be third man up in the ruck in burning questions. You get to just hear it all unfold, don't you? Glen gives you one bit of information, and then Andy gives you another bit of information, and then boom, bang, we're looking for a roughie, maybe Cosimo or Rick Riley or one of those type horses. Final question of the burning questions. Will the draw make winning peachy for young Ollivici, or does his age and mojo give the edge to old Sonoko? This is going to be a very good race, I think, Michael Stanley. And it's going to be, I don't know how much we'll learn, because I don't know if they'll race for sheep stations, but if they do, we'll learn more about Ollivici, probably more than nephew of Sonoko, but who do you think is going to win?
I think Ollivici in this particular race, just a small field with the barrier advantage. I think he's going well. Like you said, I don't think they'll race for sheep stations, this week. So I'll lean towards Ollivici. I think, when it gets a little bit more serious in a full field of free-for-all trotters, I might sway the other way because nephew of Sonoko is absolutely flying. But, if Ollivici can find the front and sort of dictate, he's going to be hard to beat still.
What do you got the kids doing now that you took them off the robots?
Well, they're at school today, Jace.
Okay.
So they normally go, Monday to Friday.
I did homeschooling. No, I quit in year 5, grade 5. I was like Doogie Howser. Right, Glen, that little cupboard behind you looks about as organised as my mind. What are your thoughts on this particular question? The final burning question for today.
It's a tough one. Ollivici being the up-and-coming horse, but Chris Lang's a pretty confident man at the best of times, but he's had a very big opinion of this horse from day one. So I think with the draw advantage, he has got the gate speed to get across. There is a couple inside him that could put a spanner in the works early, but I think eventually he'll get the front. And I think he might be just a little bit too good for nephew Sonoko at this time.
I'm with nephew of Sonoko. Only very narrowly. Andy, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, obviously he's a very progressive horse, Ollivici. There's a bit of speed inside him. He won't be gifted. Well, he might be gifted to lead, but he's going to have to come out fairly quick to find the top if they decide to hand up to him. One of the owners of him did say a couple of weeks ago that when he wins the Tornado Valley final that I can get in the photo with him. So there's a little bit of confidence in the camp. So again, there's two small heats, but they're both full of quality. So it's going to take pretty good effort to win the final. I might lean with you, J-Bon. I think I'll go with nephew Sonoko just over Ollivici at this stage.
Before we get our best, there has been this new boom for the last couple of weeks via burning questions about certain undergarments that harness racing people love to wear. Glen, you said it's cold and wet where you are. Have you got the bamboo socks or not?
No, I haven't upgraded the bamboo socks yet.
Tell you what, Skeeter told me they'll change your life. Are you a bamboo sock man, Mick, or what?
In Ballarat here, my socks are wet or winter, so it doesn't matter what kind of socks I wear.
Might need more shoes, new shoes. And I still can't believe the kids are still going to school Monday to Friday. That's been the biggest learning from burning questions today for me. Unbelievable stuff. All right, best bets. We'll start with you, Glen.
Yeah, I'll go to the last race, tip against one of Andy's, and go Fortuna. He's got the draw, and has had come out of the gate really good last start. So I think if it can hold up early, it'll be very hard to beat.
Tell you what, I reckon Vacation Hill's a moral in that race. I can't even look at Glen right now. I'm going with Khafaj as my best bet. Michael Stanley, who's yours?
I'll give you what you want and say rock and roll do.
You haven't been known to give me what I want all the time, Mike. You don't have to say it. I'm not forcing you into it.
Well, you don't need to force me.
All right. Rock and roll do the best for Mick Stanley. Andy Gath, you said off air that it was between two. First of all, I'd like this to be like The Bachelor or something. Give us the two, and then we'll eliminate one.
Pull the other leg and Major Meister.
Pull the other leg and Major Meister. And the final rose goes to
Major Meister. But please go back, Glen.
I don't know. From what Glen's told us, I don't think he has a choice. Thanks so much for joining us for the first Burning Questions post Nikita Ross. It's been an absolute belter. Can't believe I organised it. Can't believe the kids are still going to school every day of the week. That's got to change at some point. Monday, Wednesday, maybe every second Thursday. I think that's more than enough. Well done to everyone. Hopefully we found some winners, and good luck on the punt.